Welcome to another video brought to you by JFX Tutorials. My name is Andre and today I'm going to show you two different ways to sharpen your images in Photoshop. First things first, I'm going to load up my image in Photoshop. I think I'm going to crop the image because we don't really want the extra background, we just want to focus on the girl. Enter. I'm gonna zoom in a bit to about 22%, maybe more. 26. Yeah, that's about right. So the first method I'm gonna show you in this tutorial is the more simpler one. It involves the high pass filter. So I'm gonna duplicate the background layer first. Name it high pass. I'm going to filter, other, and then select the high pass. Filter. Here you need to input a number that gives you the same result as you see here in this preview box. If you have a lower resolution, you might need to put a lower amount here, or if you have a high resolution photo, you might need to put a higher radius here. But for my purposes, 3.5 pixels is enough right here. Press OK, and then change the blending mode to overlay. And now you can already see the difference if you disable this layer. You can see the subtle sharpness in her eyes. But I want to go even further and duplicate the high pass layer twice, and then group them in one folder. Let's call it high pass again. And then you can play with the sharpness level by click on the folder and then adjusting the opacity how you want. I think I'm going to go with 65 or even 70. Yeah, 70 is good. So let's do a before and after. This is before, and with a high pass filter applied, it really gives you, let me zoom in a bit. You can really see the difference. So this is the first method I'm going to show you today, the simpler one. The more complex one involves changing the color mode from RGB to lab color. I'm going to select here don't flatten because I want to keep my high pass folder from before. Okay, now we're on the lab color mode, not RGB anymore. I'm going to duplicate the layer again, rename it to lab color. I'm going to create a smart object out of this layer because we want to add some effects and we want to be able to adjust it later. Now we're going to go to the channels tab and deselect all the layers except for the lightness one. This is because we want to work only on the black and whites of the image. And now we're gonna go to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. And the values here again should be depending on the image. If it's higher or lower resolution, it might vary from my settings here. I'm gonna go for 150 and a radius of 4. Basically the radius is just the thickness of the contrast. You see here, as I go up, the thickness of the contrast is getting bigger. I don't want that big, so 5 is enough for me. And the threshold 1 or 2 is enough. Then click OK. And then go back to the channels tab and select all the layers you selected earlier. Now let's zoom in a bit and see the difference. So this is after, this is the before and after. Because we made this layer as a smart object, you can just double click the Unsharpen mask filter right here, and then you can change the settings on the go as you wish. You can increase or decrease the amount of sharpness. I'm gonna stick with 155. Okay. And the only thing I would like to change, this is just one thing that you can apply if you want to go a bit further into the sharpness process. I'm gonna add a mask layer on top of this smart object because I want to cut out the areas of the face that I don't want to sharpen. These areas are like the cheeks, the chin, and the forehead. Because as you can see here, as I sharpened the image, I added some grain and noise to the texture of the skin, and I don't really want that. So I've added the mask layer here, and with the brush tool selected, with a black foreground color, and with the brush tool opacity set to around 50% and the flow again 50%, we're gonna just brush on the forehead and then the cheeks a bit, the nose area, the cheeks again, and then again the chin, and that should be it. We want to keep the details in the hair, in the eyes, and on the mouth. So let's see the difference before adding the layer mask. You can see here the grain. Let me zoom in a bit. So here, before adding the mask, you had a lot of noise and grain on the texture skin, and now it's a bit blurred out. Again, this is an extra step. It's not mandatory, only if you want to go the extra mile. So there you have it, before and after, before and after. And that's it for this video. I really hope you found it informative and useful. If you have any questions or requests, make sure to leave them in a comment below. Also, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you love it. We're getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. I'm really keen to get to that number. That's it for now. See you on the next one. Bye.